Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, and welcome to Divas That Care. My name is Melissa Smith, and I'll be your host today. I'm here with Devin Ratti, a remarkable young woman who's here to share her story with us. Welcome, Devin.
Hi.
Could you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Devin Ratti. I go to the University of Alberta. I'm taking my family sciences degree, and hopefully after that I would like to work on the oncology unit at the Stollery as a child life specialist.
Very cool. What made you decide to be a child life specialist?
Well, through the past few years, being in and out of the hospital with my brother and just seeing all the other kids in the hospital and how it affected them, and then not really having an advocate for themselves, and then meeting up with the child life specialists that currently work at the Stollery, it really just gave me a passion to want to carry out what they're doing years after they're done.
That's really cool. Thank you. So do you want to talk a little bit about your brother and his charity?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so my brother Ryder was diagnosed with lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, on August 15th, 2015, I believe, 5 years ago. And he went through a round of chemo, and then he was pronounced in remission for about 6 months, and then he relapsed for the first time, and then they did a targeting treatment for a year, and then he relapsed again 2 months later after that. And that's when they kind of dove into his diagnosis, and they actually found out that he has a very rare cancer, also a type of lymphoma, but it targets in his skin as well, not just his blood. And he is now, there is no treatment for that for a kid, because he's actually the first kid in Canada to have it.
Oh, wow.
So they don't know how to treat it at the moment. So right now he's just getting a whole bunch of surgeries done to remove the tumors when they come up, and they might do some stunts of radiation, but at the moment there is no real treatment for it.
Right.
And so, so after that, and when my family went and did their financial statements after everything with Ryder, we realized that there's so many kids in the hospital that their families are struggling right now to financially be able to sustain getting the help for their child. And that should be that should be the least of their worries when they're in the hospital with their kid. Their main focus should be their kid. They should be focusing on being there with them and helping them, and not worrying about having to pay for their meals or where their next meal is going to come from. So that's when we started rallying with Ryder. And it's just basically right now it's just a charity. We're just starting off. We have a few fundraisers lined up in the coming years. Some this year, some next year.
Okay.
And so basically right now it's all donation based. And some of our main ones that we've done is they contact our charity directly, and they can contact the Stollery, and they fill out a form just they need. And so, for example, one family needed food cards because they couldn't leave the hospital. Their child was permanently in the hospital, and they didn't want to leave them. So they just needed gift cards for everywhere around the hospital, so that they could go get their child some food, go get some food for themselves and their other children. And so we did that for them. And then that's not all we do. We also do some special requests. There was one little boy. He was not from Canada, but he came here because he needed this specific doctor. And but when he was coming here, his bird, which was his best friend, wasn't allowed to come across the border because they couldn't afford the vet checks for it.
Okay.
And so they requested for us to pay for the vet checks for the bird to come, And that's what we did for that little boy is we got the vet checks all done, we got it across the border, and we picked it up and brought it to the hospital for him.
Wow,
so
that's really cool.
Yeah, we just do a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then with the fundraisers coming up, we're hopefully wanting to be able to do, because some families wish trips, we want to hopefully be able to donate money to that as well. So, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I also read you were also involved with Ronald McDonald House for a while. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, your role with them?
Yeah. So basically, I started off when going there the year Ryder was diagnosed. So I was about 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
And so there wasn't very much I could do there, but I started by going with the firefighters to the Ronald McDonald House and doing some baking with the kids there. And then
very cool.
Marty, the CEO of the Ronald McDonald House at the time, was very close with my family. And so then in the next few years, I started getting more opportunities to just go and help out at the Ronald McDonald House, hang out with the kids, and watch over them if their parents needed to go out, and just making sure and monitoring everyone and making sure everyone was okay. So I did that for a few years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was a really amazing experience for me, being able to be there.
That's really awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have a lot of listeners from all over the world. Do you have any advice for how people can get involved?
You can go directly to our website, rallyingwithryder.ca, and it's Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R, and then we have a contact us section, and the emails go directly to my family, and we read them daily, and we will get right back to you on anything you can do to help.
That's really good. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are you doing to work towards your goal of being a child life specialist?
Well, I'm getting my degree currently, and then I also go and I volunteer at the Stollery. And I have already an ARCM set up at the Stollery on the oncology unit to get some extra experience with the child life specialty while I'm going to school. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Fantastic. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish up?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. It was really, really great to have you on here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And I think that's all we have for today. Bye.
Bye-bye.